Shalom, shalom. I want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Shai. Okay, we're dealing with the 3 high holy days of the 7th month, right? And the first one is the Feast of Memorial Blowing of the Trumpets, right? So, you know, we got a new moon every month, 12 times out of the year, right? But this is the highest new moon out of all 12 of them, okay? Right? The Memorial Blowing of the Trumpets, right? So, first we're going to deal with that, right? Because we need to know how to celebrate the Feast of Memorial Blowing of the Trumpets, all right? So you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, just now coming in as truth, y'all need to learn these high holy days, right? What the Most High gave us, right? You know, we learned that folly, Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc., you know? But we're coming out the world, now we need to keep its high holy days, right? So you need to go to the dollar store, Dollar Tree, get you some paper, get you some pens, get you some folders, and write these lessons down and go over it, right? As you keep these laws, statutes, commandments, right? So let's get into it. Let's go to Numbers 10 and verse 1, all right? This is number 10 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journey of the camps, right? So when you blow the trumpet, you have 2 different sounds, right? And one sound they will take when they blow it, right? And it will be the sound that the people will know, right? That it is time to assemble together, right? And another sound that they will make, right? That the people will hear that it's time to pack up our tents, right? And our belongings together. And we are going to keep marching in the wilderness, right? Verse 3. And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, right? So it didn't matter what you were doing, feeding the cattle or gathering sticks or whatever you were doing, right? And when that trumpet sounded in the wilderness, right? And everyone stopped at what they were doing and approached the door of the tabernacle, right? Verse 4. And if they blow but with one trumpet, then the princes which are heads of the 1,000 of Israel shall gather themselves unto thee, right? Meaning you had one little sound, right? And the princes, right? And okay, that's me, right? Verse 5. When ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east part shall go forth, right? So the alarm was sounded, right? And the Lord going to sound alarm as well, right? And another thing about the Feast of Memorial Blowing of the Trumpet, and it is not just about the wilderness, and it is about prophecy, and it is about the divine oracle that the Most High has written, right? Because the Most High is going to sound an alarm, right? So the Most High is going to sound an alarm, right? In the day of the trumpet, alarm against the fenced city, right? Let's go to it. Let's go to Zephaniah 1, verse 15. We start with verse 14. Zephaniah 1:14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasted greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly, right? Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, right? Meaning when the Lord come back, and contrary to what they teach you in the Christian church, right? And he is not coming back to be a nice guy, right? And he is coming back with death and destruction and fire and brimstone and wreaking havoc, right? Verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers, right? Meaning it's going to be loud all over and everyone's going to hear, right? That trumpet sound, and it is going to get real dark and gloomy and the thunder rolling, and you going to see the chairs crack open the sky, right? And that's all you're going to hear is the trumpet blow, right? Verse 17. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung, right? So the Most High is coming back to be a master killer on the earth, right? And no one is going to be able to do anything about it, right? And the Lord said that the man's blood is going to be poured out like dust, and they are going to walk like blind men, right? So you got to think about it, okay? On the church of Thessalonica, right? Our people didn't know what was going to happen after the resurrection, right? That's just like our people. They don't know what's going to go on after they die, because they've been hearing things from the Christian church, right? But let's go to it, all right? And see what Paul say. Because then Paul had to, come to them and explain it to them, okay? Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4 and 14. Let's start with 13. It's 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as other which have no hope, right? Meaning the church of Thessalonica, right? And they really didn't understand the resurrection, right? And was bent out of shape and hurt because the people had, quote unquote, died in the church, right? And they didn't understand what would happen to them in the afterlife, right? So Paul got word of that, even if I was by Cyrus or Apollos, right? And he kind of written a letter to comfort them and saying, I don't want you to get upset about the people that have died in this truth, right? I am going to break it down to you what's going to happen in the prophecy, right? Verse 14. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will Yahweh bring with him. Right? So the ones that have died in this truth, right? And your spirit is going to go to the spirit world, right? And the body is going to be corrupted, and their bodies on the earth is going to be in the element stage, right? And in the last stage, the Lord's going to take the element together and form that body again, right? What he had, and send that spirit down, and that body be formed it and be alive again. And then you are going to come out of the grave, and everyone that has been asleep, right, they are going to come out of the grave, right, and they will be looking around, and the Lord will put all of their thoughts back in their memory, right? And you going to look up, and you will be lifted up in the church, right? And the wicked will be resurrected as well, right? And look up and going to throw rocks up, the rocks at the chairs, and give a middle finger, right, to the Lord, and then the Lord will destroy them by fire, right? So it got to be a resurrected of the just and unjust, right? Okay, let's go prove that. Let's go to Acts 24 and 14. Acts 24 and 15. It's Acts 24 and 15. And have hope towards Yahweh, which they themselves also allowed, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and unjust, right? So meaning the unjust is going to be resurrected to be put to death, right? And the just are those that have been murdered, or men that have died in old age, or natural causes, or diseases, or whatever the case may be, and they are going to be resurrected for everlasting life, right? Let's go back to 1 Thessalonians 4:14. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 15, right? This 1 Thessalonians 4 and 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall no prevent them which are asleep, right? Meaning, because you survive all Jacob trouble and all hell is breaking loose on the earth, right? And that's not going to be the cause of other men coming out of the grave, right? And that's not going to stop them from coming out the grave, right? Okay. Verse 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Christ shall rise first, right? Meaning Yahushua is coming back, and the archangel are going to blow the trumpet, right? Verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord, right? Meaning that trumpet is going to sound and people are actually going to come out of the grave, right, all over the world and to be with the Lord, right? So we need a spiritual body, because our fleshly corrupted body, we can't handle the kingdom of heaven because we're going to sin, right? Okay, right, let's go prove that. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. I want 52. I'm gonna start with verse 50. Okay, 1 Corinthians 15 and 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither do corruption inherit incorruption, right? Meaning you are in this mortal body, you can't function in the kingdom, right? Because you will sin and you will be destroyed. So the Most High have to give you a spiritual body, right? 51, verse 51. Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. 52. In a moment, let's read that again. In a moment, in the twinkle of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Right? 53. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality, right? Meaning now you see how these prophecies also go inside with the memorial blowing of the trumpet, right? And now memorial is something to be remembered, right? And all these things were written for your learning, right? For your patience and comfort, that you have hope, right? And these things have happened through visions and prophecy already, and it is still going to come to pass, right? It is still a memorial, because Paul already saw that already, right? And John already saw Yahushua come back already, right? And all them things already happened through visions, right? And it is still a memorial, and even though it have not played it out on the earth, and even prophecy are written for memorial, right? Okay, so ain't the angels going to blow the 7 trumpets, right? So let's go see what's going to happen at the end. Let's go to Revelation 10, and I want verse 7. Revelation 10 and 7, right? But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Yahweh shall be finished, right? As he had declared it to his servant, the prophets, right? Meaning we have 7 trumpets, and these 7 trumpets are given to these 7 angels, right? And as each trumpet sound, the prophecy unfold and things will happen. It will lead up to the deliverance of the elect, right? Of the Most High. And at the days of the 7 trumpets, everything is going to be finished and completed, right? And that is why the memorial blowing of the trumpet fall on the 7th month, and also in the days of the 7th angel. And these 7 trumpets that is sounding is going to be completion of perfection, right? Let's go back to Numbers 10 and 7. I believe it's 10 and 7. Number 10 and 7. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm, right? Meaning, so you have to be skilled in the ancient world to hit them different notes, and it's a lot of brothers that can hit them notes out here today, right? So you know, this our shofar, right? Okay, you blacks, Hispanics, Native American, Seminole Indians gotta get a shofar, right? You know, and some of the brothers can hit them different type of notes. I can only just hit one notes, you know. Tell you a little quick story. Me and the brother Thadawam, we was celebrating the feast day out there in the country. You know, we was on that yon. So he was just hitting them different type of notes. I was trying to follow him. I was hitting a little bit, cause I couldn't hit it like he was, but you know, just a quick story. But anyway, y'all gotta get y'all shofar, okay? It's a commandment. Y'all gotta get y'all shofar, all right? Y'all can get it from eBay, SD, or Amazon. I think I paid like $60 for this one, like you know, $60, something like that. But they got the small one. Or you can go to Instagram. I think the brother make it Trumpet 3000. I think it start off, I think it like 150 to 300, 400. But you can look him up on Instagram. It's Trumpet 3000. But like I say, you know, you can just go to SDs or go to Amazon. Okay, right. You know, and get your shofar. So you got plenty of time to get your shofar before, you know, the day of the before the feast of memorial, blowing the trumpet, right, on the 20th at sundown, right? Okay, but anyway, let's get back to the lesson. Numbers 10 and 8. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generation. Verse 9. And if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppressed you, then you shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and you shall be remembered it before the Lord your God, and you shall be saved from your enemy, right? Meaning this is going to happen, and this is written for our learning, right? And when we are in the land of Israel, right, and we're going to put these damn heathen in slavery, captivity. But before we do that, right, we have to blow the trumpet. And who going to blow the trumpets? The angels. And you can read about that in Zephaniah, right, in the 9th chapter. Verse 10. Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings, right? And over the sacrifice of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God, right? So the memorial blowing of the trumpet is the beginning of 7 months. So you blow the trumpet over your feasts and food that you prepare all through the night, and you keep these high holy days perfect, right? So so when you're grilling, all right, you wait till your food done, you know what I'm saying? Go to the east and blow the trumpet over your food, okay? Right? So when you cooking, y'all grilling, y'all baking, y'all got your food, blow the blacks and Spanish neighbors, you know, any y'all blow the trumpet over your food, right? Okay. Let's go to Leviticus 23 and start at 24. Start at 23. Leviticus 23 and 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month and the first day of the month shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation, right? That's why we can't buy or sell, because this memorial of blowing a trumpet is a Sabbath. And also it is a new moon, because the new moon is called a Sabbath on this day. But we can cook, right? In a holy convocation, you have to be with your brother. It is a commandment, right? So so the new moon is a Sabbath, all right? The blowing of the trumpet, memorial blowing of the trumpet, is a Sabbath. Let's prove that. Let's go to the classic. Amos 8 and verse 5. It's Amos 8 and 5, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balance by the sea, right? And you had our forefathers depressed, and they couldn't wait for the new moon to be over with, for they could rip off Israel, right? And they were waiting for that day to be over with, for they can falsify the balance by sinning, right? So they couldn't wait for the new moon over with. That's the same concept of you blacks, Hispanics, Native American. On the new moon that night, y'all eating, drinking all through that day. Then y'all thinking about, when this new moon gonna be over with? When this blowing of the trumpet's gonna be over with? Right? For you can go out and buy and sell, you know, you go do some work or whatever, cut grass or whatever. No, enjoy that feast day, okay? Enjoy that feast day, all right? Don't act like our forefathers, okay? Right? Y'all enjoy that feast day, all right? Okay? Verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. We can't do any work on that day, right? But we can cook, but no buying and selling on that day, right? You can prepare your food, you can cook, no buying, no selling, no working that day, all right? Okay? Right. Let me tell you, let me show you, because it's going to be a double Sabbath. All right. Let me go to it. So this is September 20 at sundown. So when the memorial blowing of the trumpets, right? Okay. Now keep in mind, okay, September the 19th. So you know, Friday night sundown, right? It's our regular Sabbath. Soon as Friday night sundown come in, you know, there's no buying, no selling, no cooking. You know, y'all, you already know the regular routine on a Sabbath. Y'all gotta have y'all food already prepared. You get you some turkey sandwich, some cereal, whatever, things with no fire, right? Okay. So that's our regular Sabbath. So Saturday night sundown, soon as Saturday night sundown, boom, it's the memorial blowing of the trumpet on the 20th. Okay, so it's a double back-to-back Sabbath. But soon as Saturday night sundown, when the sooner get dark, y'all can cook. Okay, y'all can start cooking, preparing your food. But there's no buying and selling. Okay, all right, Saturday night all the way up to Sunday night on the 21st. Okay, so Sunday night on the 21st at sundown, memorial blowing the trumpet, it's over with. So it's a double Sabbath. So we got a regular Sabbath, it's Friday night sundown, no cooking, no cleaning, no buying, no selling. All Friday night, all the way up to Saturday night, sundown. Soon as Saturday night sundown, boom, memorial blowing of the trumpets. So you can prepare your food, you can cook. It's a double Sabbath, but it's no buying and selling, okay? All right, there's no buying, no selling. No working. So you can cook all that Saturday night all the way up Sunday, all the way Sunday morning, noon, evening. Okay, right? So soon as sun go down, Sunday on the 21st, right? The feast of memorial blowing the trumpet is over with. Okay, so it's no buying and selling that day. All right. Okay. Got any question, comments, concern? Hit me up on my email. Okay, on Instagram. Anyway, that's to the feast of the memorial blowing the trumpets. Okay, next one I'm gonna do is the Day of Atonement, right? Okay, then with the next one after that, I'm gonna have to do the Feast of Tabernacle, right? Okay, but anyway, I want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.